Hi, welcome back to Maths Learning Groups. Now today we are going to look at some challenging problems. So we'll look at question 16, which is found in your SA1 Nanyang 2019. So this was a question that really got me thinking also. So let's look at this question and see how do we solve this problem, or is there any method that we can use to solve this. Now the table shows the pens in each type of bag. Right, so you can see that the table shows the number of pens in each type of bag. So the red bag has 40 pens, and the blue bag has 50 pens, green bag has 60 pens. And Madam Ng has a total of 8 red and green pens. So we don't know how many red, we don't know how many green. So we are supposed to find the smallest possible difference between the total number of pens in Madam Ng's red bags and the total number of pens in her green bags. So to understand how to get the smallest possible difference, then you will know you must go back to your P3, right? Your P3, P4, how do you get the biggest difference and the smallest difference? To get the smallest difference, right, the smallest possible difference, you will have a big number minus a small number, right? So I'm just going to go back to your primary 3, right? Primary 3 what you have learned. And for the first number, which is the bigger number, it has to be the smallest. Okay, the smallest. Okay, so this big number must be as small as possible, right? As small as possible. And the second number, which is smaller than the big number, right? That second number has to be as big as possible, right? So yeah, something like this. All right, the first number or the big number must be as small as possible, and the second number, which is smaller, must be as big as possible. And then when you minus, what will happen? Then you will get the smallest possible difference. Okay, the smallest possible difference. Okay, so with that, we can try to think about how to do this problem for part A. So Madam Ng has a total of 8 red and green. Alright, so 8 red and green. So we don't know how many red, how many green. So we can use a bit of guess and check. So again, the guess and check method is applicable here. So I'm going to break up the bags into 4 red and 4 green. Okay, so we're going to have 4 red and 4 green. So when you do guess and check, you will have what? You will have, you always take the total and you divide by 2, right? So your first guess is quite a clever guess, right? It's a clever guess because you take the total and divide by 2. So I will have 4 red bags, right? 4 red bags, and I will have 4 green bags. Okay, so if there are 4 red bags, then how many pens in the red bags? You take 4 times 40. So you will get 160 red pens. And if there are 4 green bags, that will be 4 times 60. That will be 240. So what's the difference? The difference will be how many? 240 minus 160. The difference will be 80. So I'm going to put down 80. So this is the difference. Okay, so is that the smallest difference? So we are not sure. So we have to continue, right, to do a second guess. So we're going to increase the red bag. Okay, why do we increase the red bag? Because the red bag is smaller, right? Yes, smaller number of pens. Yes, lesser red pens than the green pens. So we will try to increase the red pens a little bit more. So you have 5 red, and of course there'll be 3 green. Okay, 3 green bags. So if there are 5 red bags, then how many red pens? That'll be 5 times 40. So you will get 200 red pens, and 3 green bags will be 3 times 60. So that'll be 180 green pens. So what's the difference? You take 200 minus 180. The difference is 20. So is that the smallest possible difference? So most likely this is the smallest difference. But if you are not sure, we do a third guess to double confirm. Third guess. So you continue to increase the red bags, and the green bags you reduce. Okay, reduce the red bag, the green bags. So 6 red bags plus 2 green bags, you will get total 8 bags. And if there are 6 red bags, then how many red pens? So there'll be 6 times 40. You will get 240 red pens. And if there are 2 green bags, then 2 times 60. That will be 120 green pens. And what's the difference? The difference is now very big. 240 minus 120, the difference is 120. So what is the smallest possible difference between the red pens and the green pens that Madam Ng has? So the smallest possible difference will be over here. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, this is the one that we are looking at, because it gives you the smallest possible difference. So the answer is 20. So there's a bit of guessing over here. So always remember that if you cannot solve any problem, how about guess and check? right? It's still a method, even though we may not know what else to use, but don't forget guess and check, right? So how do you use guess and check? You always take the total number of items, total number of bags, and you divide by 2, and you have 4 red and 4 green, and then you increase, okay, increase the red bags or you increase the green bags. So that is how we do guess and check. Okay, now for part B, Mr. Lee, so you have a second person, different person, has some red and blue bags. And the ratio of the total pens in Mr. Lee's red bags to the total pens in his blue bags is 6:5. So I will write out the ratio. So the red pens, okay, red pens, let's call it RP, to the green are the blue, okay, the blue pens, let's call it, okay, RP is to blue pens, RP, okay, let me just write again. So RP is to blue pens. And what's the ratio? The ratio is 6:5. And you're supposed to express the number of his blue bags as a fraction of the total bags. Okay, so again, it's a little hard because this ratio is talking about what? Talking about the pens. Okay, but how do we get this ratio out of the table? Like you look at the table, you can see that one red bag is 40. Okay, so let me just write over here. Okay, so that I can see side by side. One red bag is 40, all right, 40 red pens. Okay, let's call it red pens. Okay, red pens. Why do I? Okay, so it's red pens. And one blue bag is 50. Okay, one blue bag is 50. All right, 50. So let me just put down blue pen 50. So you have 40 and 50 for one bag of red pens, and you have 50 blue pens for one bag. Okay, one bag of blue pens. Okay, so what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to again do a little bit of guess and check again, so that we get our ratio, which is 6:5. So how do we get our ratio that is 6:5? Right? So how do we do that? Now you look at 40 and 50. What's the ratio? 4:5, which is not 6:5. So we do some guess and check again. So you increase another red bag, so that'll be 80. Means you have 2 red bags, so that'll be 80:50, right? 80:50, right? And that will be 8:5, right? Simplest form, 8:5, which is still not 6:5. So I continue to increase the red pen. Okay, the red pen. How about 3 bags of red pens? 120:50. That'll be 12:5. So we didn't get the ratio 6:5. How about I maintain, okay, I keep the red pens the same, and I increase the blue pen. I have another bag of blue pens, which is 2 bags of blue pen. So now I get 50, right? 50 blue pens already. So what's the ratio now? Now the ratio now, if you look carefully, 120:100. So the simplest form will be now what? So divide by 20, you will get 6, and 100 divided by 20, you will get 5. So do you get the same ratio as what you saw in the question, which is over here? So you get the same ratio. So which means that the red pens is 120 and the blue pen is 100 blue pens. So can we now find how many bags of red pens? Yes, I can. I take 120 and I divide by one bag has how many red pens? One bag has 40. If you look at the table, yeah, one bag of red pens is 40 red pens. So you divide by 40 red pens to give you how many bags? So there are 3 bags of red pens. Okay, 3 bags. And if there are 100 bags of or 100 blue pens, then how many bags of blue pens? So you divide by 50 and I get 2 bags of blue pens. So Mr. Lee has 3 bags of red pens and 2 bags of blue pens, right? So can we now express the blue bags, which is 2 out of the total number of bags, which is how many bags altogether? Which is 3 plus 2. So you have 3 bags of red and 2 bags of blue. So 3 plus 2 will be total 5 bags. So what's the fraction of his blue? What is the fraction? So the fraction is 2/5. And that's how you solve this problem. Okay, so there's a guess and check. There's a bit of guess and check over here. Mainly is guess and check. So it does help to make the problem a little easier if you can use a guess and check method. So don't forget guess and check. So when you see any questions that you don't know how to do, well, you think about, okay, so can I still do this method? So if I can do this method, then this is what you will get. Alright, even if you can't get the answer, you will still get the meta marks. Alright, so we come to the end of this question 16 of your Nanyang paper. So the next lesson, the next question that we'll be looking at will be question 17, which is also another problem that took me a while to think about. Okay, I know that some of you can solve it very fast, but I think sometimes we tutors also need time to think about it. So the next question we will look at will be question 17. Alright, so stay tuned for the next question. Alright, see you in the next lesson.